in the last class. The name of the subject is data structures and algorithms. It's okay. So, already I have told you this subject has lot of applicability in all social and scientific sectors. But first of all, we can understand what is data, then we will go to data structure, then we will go to algorithm. So, the data can be divided into 4 types. That is, one is atomic, second one is traceable, and third is accurate, and fourth is clear and concise. Okay. So, atomic means definition should define a single concept. So, whenever we define a data, there should not be any dual meaning of that data. For example, if I write 2, 2 is the integer, but if I tell 2.5, it is real. So, 2.5 means it has a exact identity, and 2 means integer means it has exact identity. That is what we call the atomic. Traceable, what is traceable? We should be able to trace the data. For example, if I tell 2, you should be able to tell that it is an integer or it is a natural number. Suppose if I tell 2.5, the data is real up to 1 decimal place, because one data may be 2.555555 and so many, and you will not have ending. That type of data we do not want, because already I have told you every computer has a limitation. It cannot store data beyond certain limit, but theoretically, mathematically, if I say 2.5555, I can go on continuing 5 a number of digits. Am I clear? In mathematics, in theory, it may be possible, but computer is a finite machine. Somewhere you have to truncate or round off. So, what is truncation? Just see, if I write 2.56, if I write 2.55, assume that this data belongs to a particular task. For example, if I want to find out the length of a square, it can be 2.56 or it can be 2.55. Am I clear? So, if this 2.56, I can round off and I can say it is 2.6. See, 2.56 can be written as 2.6, and 2.55 I can write 2.5. This 2.5 I got due to truncation, because I deleted one rightmost digit. In the same thing, in 2.56 also, I deleted digit 6, I got 2.5. That is called truncation. So, in the truncation process or in the rounding process, that is called round off. 2.6 I am writing means that is rounded off. So, in the truncation process or in the round off process, what I am doing? I am approximating the data, and both are incorrect. Remember, due to limitations of the machines, either I have to use truncation or I have to do round off, and that is what every machine does. Any machine, any computer or any computing machine always try to truncate or round off depending upon the configuration. So, this is what this type of data we assume that it has an exact trace. 2.56 means 2.6, 2.55 means 2.5. Now, 2.5 is traceable, 2.6 is traceable, and I can very well say that this is a real data with correct up to 1 decimal place. So, I am able to trace it, because the data which is not traceable cannot be represented in computer. Okay, third one is accurate. What is accurate? See, this is not accurate, but we need still accurate data, because if you are storing all these numbers in an array, the data inside the array will not be automatically truncated or will not be automatically rounded up. So, whatever the data you write, that is whether it is after truncation or after round up, that will be the exact data. It may be real data or it may be integer data. For example, if I declare an array A equal to 2.5, 6.2, 7.9, 8.6, etc. Just see 2.5, 6.2, 7.9, 8.6. These are all real data stored in an array, and array must be declared as a real array, not integer array. That we will consider, will be going detail that how the array stores the item and how the array can take array can be defined as integer array, real array or character array. Okay, that we shall see in detail whenever I will go to the chapter array chapter. Whatever you have studied in mathematics, it is okay, but with a little bit change in the definition and concept, we can utilize it in data structures and algorithms. Most of the fundamental the concepts will be remaining same, but some will be variant. What is the variance? This is the things. Suppose if I declared array of 10 integers or 10 real numbers, it should be 10, and you can use maximum 10 numbers or below that. I cannot go further, but certainly I cannot define n or m or k, but that is possible in mathematics. Am I clear? Then clear and concise. So if you see that all these 4 properties of the data are almost looking similar, is not it? So if it is the accuracy, of course, is somewhat different. The data should be accurate and a clear and concise. What is the meaning of that? Just try to understand this. The data should be clear and concise. Remember, if I store the data real numbers in an array, I cannot declare the array is integer. What will happen if I declare the array is integer? It will store 2, 6, 7, 8. Decimal values will be automatically deleted. Then how can you say that your data is correct? Clear. It is neither clear nor concise. Therefore, only storing the item is not important in data structure or algorithms. The variable a you are using, that variable should be declared whether it is integer, real or character or string. And if you want to store the data as letters and you have declared as array integer, then data cannot be concise. Remember, same 0, 1, 0, suppose I can consider as 3 characters. Same data I can consider as 3 digits. 0, 1, 0, 3 digits, and 0, 1, 0 is 3 characters. But if you declare 0, 1, 0 as the character, it cannot be used for the numerical process. What is the numerical process? Addition, subtraction, multiplication cannot be applied. Once I declare, same thing, even if you declare as at the beginning of your program, it cannot be used for numerical process. So therefore, we have to be very concise and clear while declaring the data. Once you are using this integer data, then declare it as integer. If you are using for real data, declare it as real, and if you are using character or string data, you declare it as character. I think these are the 3 broad fundamental data types. We are coming to that. So another important thing also, for example, I want to store marks of 100 students in an array. So I can declare another array, A 100 students. So I can very well say A of 100. So what is A of 1? The marks of the first student. A of 2, marks of the second student. A of 3, marks of the third student, and A of 100, marks of the 100th student. I can very well write. And what should be the declaration of array? The marks you can put in a real value or you can put in the integer. So accordingly you have to declare it. Now whenever I write A of 1, what does it mean? An array storing some value. But from this, by reading this, can I get an information that it belongs to marks? If you are a good programmer, or if a good if you want to be a good efficient programmer, you can know that array A is containing marks, but how other student or other person will know that array A is containing marks? So therefore, what should be the declaration? Instead of writing A, it is better to write marks. You got it? So which is clear? Marks is clear. and this often programmers overlook. Even if you write array A, the program is correct, program will be compiled correct, result will be okay, but the readability of the program will be poor. And if you are a good programmer, if you are an intelligent programmer, you have to also focus on the readability of the program. If somebody else will see your program, he can easily understand that for what type of, what is the purpose of using this RS. Just I gave one example of marks of students. You can store also salary of the employees in an organization, and you need not use also marks. You can also put results. If the elements are pertaining to the overall CGPA of a student, then you can write results, or even you can write CGPA, you can write SGPA. This just I am giving an example. So whenever you are using some words, variables, constants or data in your program, try to also focus on the readability of the data, so that the data will be more clear and more concise. That's what meaning the clear and concise. Okay. So anyway, but all these three are, all four are very much related to the data, and this property always whenever you write the program and whenever you use the data in your program or algorithm, you have to focus on these 4 points. Okay. So that's what we mean the data. So now coming to data types. What are the different data types? So the data types can be broadly classified into built-in data type, another is derived data type. What is built-in data types? Integers, Boolean, that is true or false, floating point data, characters and strings. These are all called built-in data type. So built-in data type means these are the most trivial data items. Integers 2. If I tell 2, 2 cannot be further divided. Can you divide 2 further? But remember, if I tell array A, it can be further divided. 2.5 can be an element in the array. 6.2 can be an element in the array. 7.9, the same variable, same data, but it is divided into it is representing a number of other data. So they are coming under the derived data type. But the trivial data, the fundamental data are the built-in data types, which cannot be, they are also you can say as atomic, we cannot further divide. We can represent it in some other way. For example, if the integers are decimal integers, I can represent using binary, hexadecimal, decimal, so many ways, but the data values remains same. Then Boolean, true or false, and they are different from binary. Remember binary and Boolean both are not same. So if I say that 1 I am taking for true and 0 I am taking for false, if after some operation, if you get the data value true, then I can say it is 1. If the data value get 0, I can say it is false, or 1 represents true and 0 represents false. They are called the Boolean. We will be coming to that also, Boolean data operations. Then second is floating point. What is floating point? Can anybody tell? What is floating point data? Already I have told you, that is real data. Just names are changed. So floating point or real data both are same. And what is real? Which is not integer. That means data written using decimal point if it is decimal system. Data written using binary point if it is in binary system are called the floating point. And to make it more concise, what you can say, for example, write it 2. 2 is an integer or real? Integer. Everybody agrees? 2 points is integer or real? Real. See, the value remains same, but the representation is different. This is what called conciseness. So 2, if I don't want to change the value of a data, but I may take it as an integer or I may take it as a real. So, if I want to take integer, do not write the decimal point, and if I want to take a real, you have to add a decimal point, and the moment you add a decimal point, that has become real. Then you can perform real arithmetic, you can add with a real data. Sometimes some languages will not permit to add a real data with the integer data, but without changing the value, even the integer data you can convert it to real. Am I clear? So, this is the floating point data. What is character data? Already I have told you, the data does not mean that we will take only integers. We can take the data characters. For example, Raurkela, how many characters? 8 characters. So, I can define a variable character place. Place is the variable which may take Raurkela, which may take New Delhi, which may take Bombay, which may take any value. But the Bombay, Raurkela, they are the data, but certainly they are not the integers, not the real numbers, they are the character data. So, character is one type of data, and individually if one variable takes one character, that is allowed, or it can a single variable can take more than one character, that becomes a string. What is a string? Concatenation of a number of characters. For example, if I say Raurkela, Raurkela is a single string, but remember, if I write Raur and Kela in a different form, then this is how many strings? 2 strings. If you leave a single blank space, because blank space itself is a character, if you leave a blank space between any 2 characters, that splitted the string into 2 strings. So, I can split the strings, is not it? I can combine the strings, I can combine 2 strings to make it a one string. And if you are writing the characters one after another sequentially without leaving any blank space, that the operator is known as concatenation. So, what is concatenation? Concatenation is that you write the group of characters one after another without leaving a blank space, neither blank space nor any special characters which are available in the keyboard. You cannot leave a blank space or any special characters. So, that is what we call the concatenation, right. Then we have to find the length of a string. So, Raurkela, if I write a modulus operator, this is in mathematics we call modulation, and or we call the cardinality. So, if you put these bar symbols, cardinality, then we can say the length becomes 8, right. So, I can form any number of strings. So, I think you understood what is the difference between character and the strings. Then how to store them in different forms, that we shall see. So, that is these are the all built-in data types, and they are called the fundamental data types or most trivial data types. The next derived data type we have list, then we have array, then we have stack, then we have queue. What is a list? I can go on listing a number of digits, that is a list, but list is not an array. Suppose you are going to a grocery shop for bringing some items, and you can list down the number of items to be procured from the grocery shop, that is a list, but that is not an array. Why? Because in the array, that you can say also demerits of the array. Once you declare array as integer, all the data should be integer. Once you declare that array is real, all the data should be real. But in list, I can use dissimilar items in the same list. I can use the digits, I can use the letters, etc. Okay. So, array already I have told you, array is a particular data structure, and we cannot say it is trivial, because unless you take more than 1 items or more than 0 items, we cannot define an array. An array must consist of a number of other data items which are belonging to built-in data type, like array of integers, array of Boolean values, array of floating points, array of characters, array of strings. Am I clear? By taking the built-in data type, we can define the derived data type. Similarly, stack can be expressed, can be represented using built-in data types. I can have a stack containing integers, boolean values, floating point, characters or stack of strings. But what is a stack we should understand, that will take some time. Then Q, a data structure which is a derived data structure based upon the integers, boolean values, floating point, characters or strings depending upon the problem will take Q. And when the Q is important, when the stack is important, when the array is important, list is important, that is completely application oriented. For example, in a bank, if you are going to bank for transaction, so you will maintain queue or stack. Can a last person in the queue, those are standing, can get the service first? Will the bank persons will allow you? No. That means stack is different and the queue is different. Queue means the person who is standing in the queue, in the first person, he is going to service first. But is it possible to give service to a particular person in the queue who is standing in the middle? Possible or not possible? Okay, there it may not be possible. For data structure algorithm it is possible. That is called priority queue. I can give some priority over some elements. These elements should be processed fast. So this shows that you have various types of queues. Similarly, we have various types of stacks, various types of arrays, various types of lists. So slowly we will go to cover this, all these data structures. Then we will come to the algorithm. So that I think data types are over. Then we will go to data structure. Then algorithms. Algorithms is nothing but the basic operations over this data, data types and data structures. What operation we can perform over this data or data types.